Hello, happy holidays, and welcome to the Evidence Based Chiropractor. I hope you are having a fantastic holiday season, and we are going to come to the close of the year here with a fantastic episode with a bunch of actionable tips for you to improve your chiropractic website. I don't care if you built it yourself, it's a custom build, or you have one of those big box third parties providing your website services. You will get a few tips to drive more traffic in the next 15 minutes. I nearly guarantee it. And as I said, next week we are going to talk a little bit about a year in review. So that is going to be a sweet episode. But today I want to make sure that you get tips, research-based tips to improve your chiropractic website. You also can check this out. I'm going through all of this audio, but if you want this in a PDF form that you can use as a cheat sheet or a quick reference, go to the evidencebasedchiropractor.com. Check out our blog, and it is the first one at the top. It is called the Top 10 Chiropractic Website Tips. So if you want that PDF, please visit the evidencebasedchiropractor.com/blog, and you will find it right there. But without further ado, let's dive into some of these tips. We all know that before people come into our practice, heck, before you probably went to the last restaurant last night or the night before, you looked online. You looked at Yelp, you looked at whatever it may be. You Googled it, basically. And the same thing is happening in your community. People that are looking for chiropractic care, any sort of healthcare service, are looking online first. So having a fantastic website that drives traffic is directly correlative to seeing improved patient volume in your practice. And these are going to go, we're going to go through pretty quick hitters here. We're going to go through 10 individual tips that you can utilize to increase that traffic at your website starting immediately. So number one is consistent blogging. Content is king. Do not forget about that. Search engines love updated, refreshed content. And when you can have relevant content, meaning relevant to the people in your community, it's absolutely essential to have your website working for you and for your practice. I recommend updating with a nice blog one time per week. That sounds like a lot, but one time a week is a fantastic way to keep up. That is exactly what we do for everybody with the Smart Chiropractor and Body Signals, and I think it's a fantastic way to go about keeping your website profile updated, keeping those SERPs, so the search engines are constantly crawling through the internet looking to see where new content resides. And if you can post up a blog one time per week, you will go a long way towards showing Google and more that you are keeping a fresh website with relevant content. And that is the way to go. Number two is a little bit more pragmatic. Be smart with your web address. So here's the scoop. Apple.com, Google.com, the evidencebasedchiropractor.com. These are very straightforward website addresses. You do not want to have Jones Family Chiropractic and Rehab.com/home-124789110. That is way too long and complex. Keep your web address, your URL, as simple and as brand focused as possible. That is tip number two. Number three, this is a big one. Call to action. Have a clear call to action on your website. If you visit Uber.com, Google.com, Facebook, you will see that they are directing you to take one action when you visit that website for the first time. So when I talked about this the other week, but when I see a headline that says wellness awaits you, that is not a call to action by any stretch. So be sure that when somebody visits your website, when they visit, whatever it may be.com, they see very clearly right there in front of them, above the fold, as we say, right clearly in front of them, the one action that you want them to take. Is it to download something? Is it to call your practice? There's a variety of different types of call to action that you can implement, but be sure that it is one in that it is clear. Number 4, practice information. This sounds obvious, but make your phone address and email easily accessible. Everybody is searching now with mobile. Over 50% of searches take place through a mobile device. And you notice when you visit some websites, you probably noticed that at the bottom of the screen of your phone, as soon as you visit the website, a little thing pops up where you can call, email, or get directions. That is a mobile-friendly website. You do not want people searching around for the ability to call your office or find your office, etc. So please make sure that your practice information is very, very clear on your website. That is key. Make things easy for the people who are visiting your website. Number 5, email Optin. Build an ongoing list of potential new patients with a pop-up box or welcome mat. There are a variety of tools like sumo.com, others as well, lead pages, etc. There's a variety of no-cost or low-cost ways to do this. But make sure that your website has some ability for a potential patient to enter their email address. This is how you build an audience. And over time, the size of your audience, I've kind of joked in the past, if I were to buy a practice today, I would never go on, kind of dead patient records, essentially. I would never ask, well, how many patient records do you have? I would much rather know, how many email addresses do you have? What's the last time you communicated with them? What's the click-through and open rate? And I'd be willing to make an offer on the spot for that practice depending upon those numbers, because a highly engaged audience is an easily monetized audience. So make sure that you are building your audience aggressively online. Doesn't mean you need to be in the face. I shouldn't say maybe aggressively. You don't need to be down about it or use any weird tactics or anything like that, but make sure people can enter their email address and you can collect them, and that will be a great thing for your practice down the road. Number 6, install Google Analytics. As Nike says, just do it. Google Analytics is completely free, and it is going to give you so much intel regarding your website that it'll make your head spin. But it also is pretty simple to use. So go to Google Analytics or just type Google Analytics into Google and you will see exactly how to install Google Analytics. It's just a little tiny piece of invisible code you can copy and paste directly onto your website, or you can ask your web service provider to do that for you. And you will get a great bit of information in terms of how many people are visiting your website, where are they visiting from, and that's important, right? Are a lot of people visiting your website from 5 states away? Well, that might not help drive them into your practice if they live 1,000 miles away, but it might be an opportunity to be able to sell a product online if you notice people are really resonating with, let's say, your nutritional information, etc. So it's going to give you some very valuable intel to make good decisions for your practice. Number 7, load a Facebook pixel. I've talked about this in the past. If you don't know what a Facebook pixel is or retargeting, just go to the evidencebasedchiropractor.com and search that, because it's something that I've spoke about, I think last year at Cairo Sushi. I spoke about it at a few marketing conferences last year as well. But the Facebook pixel allows you to retarget. And here's the simple way to put that. How many people visited your website last month? If you don't know that, you need to have Google Analytics on your website. But let's take it and say 100 people visited your website last month. And let's say your new patient flow was 20 new patients. Well, there's 80 people in the middle there that dropped off. So it's putting a Facebook pixel, which again is completely free, onto your website can help you advertise your practice to specifically those 80 people that did not convert. And those are what we call warm traffic. They've already know, trust, and like you to some degree because they visited your website, but they didn't pick up the phone and call. Facebook Pixel allows you to close that gap by then advertising online. Number 8, mobile friendly. We talked about this a little bit earlier in terms of practice information, but make sure that your website is mobile friendly. So if they should be able to, anybody that visits your website should be able to press one button and have their phone call your front desk. Don't make it hard. Make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Easiest way to check that, visit your website right now on your own iPhone or iPad and make sure that things look good, that they're sized appropriately, and that it is super easy to see that call to action, super easy to see the practice information, and very easy to make that phone call. Number 9, social media account. Be sure to link your social media accounts. If you're using Twitter, Instagram, there are actually ways, really simple ways, to really keep your website fresh through other applications. And what I mean by that is this. If you go to jefflangmaid.com or drjefflangmaid.com, you will see somewhat, just a little bit down the page, that there's a big box that shows my Instagram feed, beautiful pictures, etc. And it auto updates. So every time I use Instagram, it auto updates to my personal website. That keeps the look fresh, it keeps it engaging, and it's just a good thing to do. So be sure to link your social media accounts. And number 10, speed. As John Madden in football once said, speed kills. So speed is essential. If your website is loading slow, people are going to go back and check out something else. There's a variety of free tools, and if you check out the PDF of what we're talking about, the evidencebasedchiropractor.com at the blog. It's going to be the top tool there. You will find a variety of free tools that you can utilize to check the speed of your website. Two big things slow down websites faster than anything else, and one of them is too many scripts, that's basically bad coding. The second one is pictures that have not been squashed or optimized for the web. So those are two simple things that you can check on and for free and check the speed of your website. And if it's not up to snuff, you can get at your web service provider and make sure that they help you along with that. Now, that was a massive amount of information in a very short amount of time. If you have any questions relative to any of the content, shoot me an email at jeff@theevidencebasedchiropractor.com. Additionally, if you've been loving the podcast, then please leave us ratings or review or feedback on iTunes. It helps more and more chiropractors find out what we are up to. It's completely free to do so, and I would fantastically appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic week of vacation or a fantastic week in practice if you are still on it this week. And I will talk to you soon.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode of The Evidence Based Chiropractor. Learn more tips for explosive practice development at theevidencebasedchiropractor.com. You can also join the Premier MD monthly membership, enabling you to use what you just heard to maximize results in your office.